Okay, hey everybody. It's been a little bit. I'm back. Um, the other day, some clips resurfaced of Speaker Mike Johnson essentially saying that the $174,000 salary that Congress people live on for working last year, 88 days, uh, isn't enough to live on to maintain family and residence in both places, which I would also point out, like, get a roommate, broseph. He also, as speaker of the house, earns $223,500 a year. And every time he's asked a question, he doesn't know anything about what's going on in the world. So yeah, he did say that. It's a resurfaced clip from like a year ago. Let's see. Let's show you this. So it's a resurfaced clip from about a year ago. They need to take care of their family. Blah blah blah. Um, and his claim is that you're going to have less qualified people who are willing to make the extreme sacrifice um, of running for Congress. Now, I will say, I think that, like, running for office where you may or may not get elected is an actual sacrifice, no matter what tax bracket you're in, because you have to take a significant amount of time off. You have to be out there campaigning. It's a sacrifice. It's not an extreme sacrifice. So let's get that straight. And then if you are elected, it's no longer a sacrifice. It's you won the thing that you chose to do. So, this idea that this wasn't a choice for them, okay, maybe you think it's your civic duty. You still chose to do it. So I don't really want to hear, and you chose to do it knowing what the pay rate was. So nobody wants to hear that it's an extreme sacrifice, because it's not. Also, you're going to have less qualified people than Markwayne Mullen, Kristi Noem, like, name any of the people that are in Congress, John Fetterman. Like, you can't get less qualified than these people that are already in Congress. Than Mike Johnson himself, who has never seen or heard anything. He's never read a news article, he's never listened to the radio, he's never watched television, because anything that ever comes up, he doesn't know about it. All that said, the quote that has been circulating has been truncated. He did say, on balance, he probably supports a ban on congressional stock trading, because I think it's been abused in the past, and I think, sadly, a few bad actors discolor it for everyone, and Congress shouldn't have any appearance of impropriety. And as this article says, the salary numbers are real, the struggle is not, right? He ultimately did say he was in favor of a rule about congressional stock trading. And he also claimed, when he did make this speech a year ago, that there was zero tolerance for insider trading in Congress, which we know is, completely untrue. So, because he claims to want to ban stock trading for Congress, I think we're going to call him today to see if he can commit to that. There is a current, is this what I'm looking for? Yes. There is a current action in the House from Wisconsin's Brian Steele, Republican. It's H.R. 7008, the Stop Insider Trading Act. It was brought up in January of this year and has made, as you can see here, it was introduced. That is all that has happened so far. Part of the problem with this bill, according to Democrats, is that it does not go far enough. So it allows lawmakers to hold on to stocks that they already own. It would just ban future trading. And one of the other issues is that this bill prohibits members from buying new stocks. It does nothing to remove the conflict of interest that arises from owning or selling existing stocks. It also doesn't include anybody other than the House and Senate. And if you are paying attention, you should want it to go much further. Anybody that's involved in the administration shouldn't be allowed to trade stocks. Put your stuff in a blind trust and deal with it later when you are out of office. I have no issue with people trading stocks in general. I have no issue with people making money, but like, we're seeing actively insider trading happening from the White House, from the cabinet. The Trump family owns part of Polymarket, which obviously is not stock market, but it's in the same, it's futures markets, it's in the same vein. And the idea that Carolyn Levitt can leave the podium at exactly 50 minutes and 15 seconds because there's a bet for that on Polymarket, and the Trump brothers are part owners of the company, is absurd. So this should go much, much further than it currently does. So I'd also like to point out that with the $174,000 salary that he did say, like, that part of the quote is real. He doesn't think it's enough money to attract the best people to run for office. And he also doesn't think that, like, it's enough for the people that are currently in office to maintain their family obligations back home. He is from the Louisiana 4th. This is congressional district, Louisiana 4th, from the census. The per capita income in Mike Johnson's home district is $34,376. So median household income, $60,858. He's earning multiple times that. Regular congressional representatives are earning more than twice that. And he's claiming that it's not enough to live on. I'd also point out that the average, let's take Marine Corps sergeant, is between $2,800 and $4,000 a month. A month, not twice a week, a month. And the higher end of that is when you have X amount of years experience. So let's round up to $3,000 a month for a sergeant in the Marine Corps that has potentially been sent to Iran. Obviously, there's a little bit more for hazard pay here and there, but the average of $36,000 a year, when you are sending these guys to Iran for no reason and claiming that you can't live on $174,000 a year and attract the best people to that job, is absolutely friggin' absurd. So, I would like to call Mike Johnson and see if he will not only support HR 7008, but work to amend it to include currently owned stocks, and to include the president, vice president, and all cabinet members in this ban of stock trading.
I'm sorry, extension number 67035 didn't answer. You've reached the voicemail of Honorable M. Johnson, main line 2. Please leave a message.
Hi, Speaker Johnson. I am calling from the New Jersey 3rd. I know that there has been some resurfaced video of you claiming that people won't run for office if the salary for Congress, you won't be able to attract the best people if the salary is $174,000 a year. That said, I do also know that you ultimately in the untruncated version of that speech, acknowledge that you do think that there should be a ban on congressional stock trading. You say that there's absolutely zero tolerance for insider trading, which I gotta be honest, I don't believe for a minute. But I am calling to see if you will join on as a yay vote for HR 7008, which was introduced on January 12th from Brian Steele in the Wisconsin First. It's the Stop Insider Trading Act. But I would also ask, because it does not go far enough at all, I would ask that you work with your committees to amend the bill so that it includes currently owned stocks by representatives and goes as far as to include the White House, the president, the vice president, frankly, any staff in a higher level position, and all cabinet members, because all of these people are capable of insider trading, not just Congress and your colleagues. So I would ask that you would do this. I think it would be a good show of respect towards the American people, especially since this video has resurfaced of you saying that $174,000 a year for last year in 2025, 88 days of work isn't enough when you guys have the best health care, you have daycare, you have a gym.
There's 10 seconds of recording time left.
And the average sergeant in the Marine Corps makes $3,000 a month. So, and the average per capita income in your district is $34,000, $376. Please make sure.
To send your message as urgent, press 2. To re-record your message, press 3. To review your message, press 4.
Let's send it as
Send your
urgent.
message. Thanks. Your message was sent. Thanks for calling.
The amount of time that these people let you have access to their voicemail is absolutely absurd. The completed thought, which I will tag Speaker Johnson in all of the social media posts here, the complete thought is everything I just said. Sign on to this bill. Maybe the American people will stop openly mocking you if you act like you're doing something for them. The cost of everything is higher. You've allowed for Marines and Navy and Air Force and Army members and to be sent to Iran for absolutely no reason. They earn significantly less money than you. They work many more days a year than you. Sign on to this bill and make amendments that will actually impact the value of this bill. Because otherwise it's just the usual nonsense of, oh, look, we did something. But it has no practical effect unless you are including currently owned stocks, and unless you are including the president, his family, the vice president, his family, and all cabinet members. So that's what I'll say. And do what you can, Mike Johnson. Do something. Do your job. And the rest of you, call your representatives.